Dude, actually, I got to get a UCLA sweatshirt. I'm a senior fellow at the UCLA School of Public Policy.
Really? When did that happen?
Actually been there 2 years.
Nice. You get like free tickets to
Yeah. It's
basketball?
All the games this year.
Really?
Tickets.
Are you serious?
They haven't had any games.
Oh, you said this year. Oh,
Last year, I had all the football tickets last year.
oh good.
We're good.
Oh, we're on?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, hit
All
the,
right. Well, let's get it started.
All right. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Brian.
How are you?
Pretty damn good.
Glad to hear it.
Thanks, man. Hey,
All right,
we're
let's
live
go.
on YouTube. Well, not live. We're on YouTube.
So you think?
You can see our pretty mugs
We'll see.
finally.
Maybe we'll be on YouTube.
We're not just
We'll
faces
see.
for podcasting anymore.
Yeah, I know. We're breaking out into
The
we're
sweat.
doing it. We're doing it so people can write pissed off bad comments about us.
I missed the comment section.
You're a glutton for punishment.
I think you and I both been gluttons of comment sections before. So what's happening?
All right. So we will start with we're not doing national. So our
Kind of.
statewide, not sure about that, but our statewide story. Oh no, we are South Africa
That's a great start.
around the world.
Yeah.
So
The China virus, or as our former president
COVID-19
called
is
it,
what-
Kung Flu,
Well, how dare you? It's COVID-19.
COVID-19,
You have not heard.
which means what?
You have not been corrected.
Yeah.
It means COVID-19.
Okay.
So, but oddly enough, there's a South African strain, and I heard wasn't there another country strain? Like, didn't the UK have a different strain?
I thought
or
South America had a different trend, like Venezuela or something.
Brazil or something? Maybe it was
Mhm.
Brazil. Okay, so the odd thing as we were talking about is you cannot call the Chinese COVID-19.
The China virus. China.
Cannot call it that. Anyway, so we can't designate China anything to do with the virus, but South Africa now gets tagged with having a strain.
You know,
And Brazil. So why wouldn't it just be COVID-19 number 1, number 2, number 3? Does that seem odd?
it does seem odd.
All right, move on.
The politically correct virus.
Exactly. That's the point. You got it. You picked up on that.
All
God damn,
right.
you're smart.
Thank you.
So,
Why aren't I a fellow at UCLA?
well, you should be.
I'm wearing the damn.
So I said
logo.
that should be my UCLA shirt, as I am a senior fellow at the
You don't get one of
UCLA
these?
School of Public Policy. No, but I'm going to order it. That's actually a pretty cool sweatshirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bill Walton gave it to me.
I'm sure it is. All right. So speaking of nothing
Walton.
but San Francisco,
Yes.
our favorite city.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of crime there, so I've heard. It might have a homeless problem. Might have a little bit of crime problem.
My
But
favorite
a
San
lot of
Francisco
people's-
crime story
Fire away.
2 years ago was people started putting signs on their windows saying, I
Don't
have
rob me.
Yeah, I don't have shit inside. Stop breaking my goddamn window.
Well, that's the first place to go.
It's like,
That means you got something to hide.
no, there was like literally nothing in there. They just, hey, I took my car stereo out or whatever. Just please stop breaking my car window.
Yeah. I wonder if that works.
Probably not.
So it didn't work for this guy, Jack Paladino,
Ooh.
a private investigator of certain fame.
Okay.
People may recognize his name for various reasons. Bill Clinton and his team hired him to go dig up dirt on women that might be accusing Clinton of various things. So he got famous there. But he was actually famous before that when the Patty Hearst family, before you were born,
Thank you.
Patty Hearst was kidnapped. She was the heir to the Hearst family, which was the publishing newspapers and a bunch of other things.
Mhm.
Hearst Castle, have you ever been there?
Driven by it, long ass road to
You never went in?
go down. It's like, no, it's like
Oh, dude, it's something to see.
Big Sur's like an hour away. I can go to the Hearst Castle. Kept going.
It's a monument. You should see it.
Oh,
Anyway, so,
We'll do a
So
remote
there-
podcast there.
all right. I doubt it. But so Patty Hearst family had hired him to research or to find out where the hell she
Investigate.
is and get her out of the captivity. And if for those of you that don't know the story, so she was kidnapped by a group of, this is, late 60s, early 70s, when there was a bunch of different groups going on, protesting, blowing up cars and things like that. It was actually quite a bad time. And so a group of radicals took her hostage.
This wasn't last year. Sounds like last year.
It was last year
2020?
multiplied by 10 times, or
Okay.
more, if not more. So they took her hostage, and then when they finally freed her, or was about to free, she said, "No, I'd like to stay." And she says, "I sympathize with these folks. I'm down with their cause." And
better known as
switching
Stockholm
sides.
syndrome.
Stockholm
That's where
syndrome.
it kind of came from, maybe, or at least maybe that's
Well,
where
it came
was.
from Stockholm, but I think she got the syndrome.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Paladino was hired by his family. He was hired by the Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah.
He
I was not there
part of
either.
that. He's the one that did all that.
Oh no shit.
No, actually, but he was probably investigating. He's probably hired by families to go down there and see what's
Oh.
going on.
Interesting.
And but what happened? Getting back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So he walks out of his lovely townhome, whatever row house, on the street to check out his new camera that he had just gotten, or maybe someone gave it to him. But anyways, walks out to take a few photos. People roll up, say, "Nice camera," get out of their car, attack him to get the camera. The guy falls down, hits his head on the cement or whatever. In a coma. I think they're pronouncing him dead.
Wow.
So, not good.
That's not a good way to.
So here's
Die.
the second part of the story that came out a couple days later. So, how are they going to find the people? Oddly enough, they didn't get the camera because I guess he might have held on to it a little bit. They knocked him down, and probably people around, they took off. But he got them on film. He snapped a picture, or maybe it snapped it accidentally.
A lot of good that
They
did.
look at the
He's
camera and
dead.
said, "Well, now they got who killed him."
I'm sure he feels
look-
better now.
Well, his family
Found
feels a hell of a lot better.
Okay.
Jesus, what's wrong with you?
Well, they probably trade him being alive for capturing people, but that's just my
Well,
guess.
at least they got him now.
That's true.
And how ironic. They went to steal the camera, and the cameras end up the one that
Good point.
puts them in jail.
So, how did Hillary kill him?
Through the camera.
It's the conspiracy theory, right? That the Clintons take out everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Why that so? You're welcome.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Good night.
That's
Okay,
it.
what were we going to go to next?
We were going to discuss. There's a big story. Let's start with the big story.
All right. Work our way back.
Yeah. Is she the new mayor of Palm Springs, Christy Holstege?
Yeah.
Yeah. First female mayor of the city of Palm Springs. Took a shot at our sheriff, Chad Bianco, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, over the coronavirus. And I think, as we mentioned a couple episodes ago, the sheriff and his family came down with COVID, and he's been pretty.
I saw that he did. The rest of his family did.
I
as
know
well?
his wife did, and I think maybe one of their kids did as well. But he's been pretty vocal about not going after small business owners who are keeping their businesses open, trying to work, and not arresting people on the street who are not wearing a mask, things like that. And some people, I would say on the left, probably have kind of used that as a target. And so Mayor Holstege put a statement out on her Facebook, and I'll just read it here real quickly. In quotes, "Honestly, it's no big deal," says our elected sheriff about a virus that has infected at least 268,000 Riverside County residents and killed at least 3,000 of our loved ones so far, and that has disproportionately ravaged communities of color. All the while, his department has actively contributed to the spread of the virus in our communities by not only refusing to enforce public health requirements, but actively encouraging people to violate them, in addition to refusing to change protocols in jails or help the cities they serve, comparing COVID-19 to the chickenpox in the early days of the
All
pandemic.
right, that's enough. I don't think that's completely accurate. So,
Takes a dig at the family next.
yeah, and that
Anyways.
information is not
Um,
correct. So, he says, did you have a retort to that?
Yeah.
or-
Well, so what created the news on this really was he on her Facebook he made a comment and went after here, and I'll read his response. Sheriff Bianco says, "I was going to ask if you purposely misrepresented my comment, but after reading your entire post, I see you're full of misinformation. So never mind. That's not going to help you in your run for assembly."
So, didn't know she was running for assembly. So,
Breaking news.
this was all, and Mark read it. I did not. I saw the headline, and to me, it looked like they're having a debate. I thought they were in studio or whatever having a debate because that's how they presented it. But now you're telling me they just did.
They did separate interviews with KESQ.
Did each one of them know that they were being interviewed to counter the other one? Is that?
He said, he shared information, like when I spoke with the sheriff, he said this, how do you respond? And vice versa. And going back,
dude, that's a classic, almost media, like let's make a fight.
That's what it was, right? Hey, we see the sheriff commenting, let's blow this thing up,
get this thing going.
And let's sell advertisements around it. So I think his biggest contention, the sheriff's, was right out the gate, the quote that she took out of context and said, honestly, it's no big deal. What he said was, it was no big deal about him getting testing positive for, getting COVID. Is it the China virus? Right.
Well, maybe she got a strain.
But it was no big deal that he had to stay home and miss the meetings and do stuff virtually. That's when he was talking about, that's what it's no big deal meant. She took it out of context.
Saying the whole thing is no big deal.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a good way to discuss public policy. I think we can both agree.
Yeah, it's a little irresponsible of her, kind of taking a punch at the sheriff when he's,
because I get
affected.
it. You can say, all right, he obviously took a position at the beginning that,
sure,
hey, we're just going to push through this, and it's however bad it might be, we're not shutting things down, and so on and so forth. She had the exact opposite, like shut everything down possible. We have to protect everybody.
It's two different views.
So two different polar views, both elected officials.
And look,
go ahead.
I was say she can shut down Palm Springs if she so chooses, and her council, fellow council mates. But as a sheriff, he has that authority to say, I'm not going to enforce.
Mm-hmm. And
that ain't a law. It's like
and that's a whole nother argument, right?
Yeah.
So, how did it end, though?
It's still ongoing, I would say.
Are they going to have round two?
I hope so, because it was interesting.
I hope so, too, because and get them in the same room.
Oh, that'd be great.
Right.
I'd love to see that.
That's your job.
Yeah.
That's your task.
Okay. I'll get right on that. So
see if you can produce.
Yep.
All right. We also have, stick with Palm Springs for a second.
Okay.
Because that's where the story came from in the Desert Sun. Catalytic Converters.
Yes.
A big item for Thieves. Who would have known? They're going after your catalytic converter.
Damn it. I don't have one.
And neither do I. That's the good news. We are in the Tesla world, so we don't have to worry about smog and those things. But I guess they hook up somewhere around the muffler system to lessen the smog.
Filter
it out. And I guess they got quite a bit of rare earth minerals in them. And so people, how going back for years, they were there's always problem, with the farmers. They're stealing our pumps. They're ripping out of the wires and
copper wiring, air conditioning units.
Yeah, exactly. And it was going wild.
Someone should have a bill about that.
I think I did. So anyway, that was the rage for a while, right? And then I don't know. You know what they started doing? I noticed. They cage them up now. Like if you somewhere and there's like a little pump, on.
Oh yeah.
It's a cage around it now because that's why
they're hard to get off.
Probably very hard, and that's why catalytic converters seem to be a lot easier.
Interesting.
So so anybody that has a car with a catalytic converter, meaning you're spewing that smog out there, be careful. We're out to get them.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to stay out in the desert?
Sure.
Big news out of Indio.
Coachella.
Ella. And Stagecoach once again canceled. I think for the entire year, right? Because normally
I read it was for the spring. I didn't know if it was for the fall.
They might consider the fall.
I might not have read the whole article actually.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. But a big hit.
Huge. Well, we're coming back up in the season again.
You want me to get that?
Yeah.
Bring home dinner.
Thank you.
So that our Coachella Valley lives on tourism. Well, agriculture and tourism are the biggest drivers of the economy, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So we will see, but
it definitely the Coachella Valley is coming. Well, it's in season right now, but as soon as kind of the cold weather passes just a tad bit, you got golf coming up, and obviously
tennis tournament not going to happen. It is billions of dollars.
It is.
Let's not say billions, but probably close to it though. I think the it was either a tennis tournament or Coachella brought in like over $400 million during that time. I mean, so those together will hit $1 billion. And then stage, it's a lot of money that Coachella Valley's missing out on.
You been to Coachella?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Stagecoach?
No, I have not.
You've never been to a damn
No,
concert?
I was going to say, I don't know why I said yes, because I've thought about going every year. My kids have all gone every year. Cost, those aren't cheap tickets, by the way.
They're not,
So when
and
you got
they're
a
hard
bunch
to
of
get.
kids that want to go, yeah. So anyways, no, I'm not big on crowds.
Okay.
And so love concerts, love live music, but I would go, but it's just never like the opportunity. You know what? And I didn't want to necessarily go when my kids were going doing things that they shouldn't be doing at a concert. Don't want to run up on them and say, hey. So
That'd be cool.
probably better dad stay away.
I am going to miss reports like this. Hold on.
The Coachella Music Festival is the high desert home of the hottest bands in rock and roll. But not everybody can take the heat. Like this naked wizard who just made his robe disappear.
Dude, let me see. Turn it so I
Now
can see it.
cops try to get the warlock to sheath his wand.
Sheath his wand. Oh my god!
I have not heard that phrase before.
This was it's dubbed the Coachella Wizard.
Is that you?
No,
Oh.
I didn't have that long of hair. I was the other guy. Yeah, this guy just shedded his clothes, and what I love about this
Freedom.
interview is the gal that comes up next, because they're asking, well, why do you think he did such a thing? Hold on.
Onlooker Crystal Guzman speculates what's fueling this skin-bearing stunt.
I think he was
drugs?
under the influence of something.
Great deduction,
I hope
Crystal.
he was. If not,
I think
he's
he
got
was
problems.
on something.
So, how many times have you been?
I'd say, gosh, at least half a dozen.
I think I'm the only one in Coachella Valley that
Man,
I know.
there. You know what? There's been
personally
some
that
really
has
cool
not been
things.
there.
They've reunited Rage Against the Machine. I remember going to that concert. It was like in 06 or 06. It was about 06. And, you know, the shitty part about that was he went into literally like a 30-minute rant, the lead singer, Zach De La Rocha, on Bush. Okay, great. I just play Freedom or whatever your song is. I don't want to, you know. But yeah, it was.
You said 30-minute?
It was a
Seems a bit
good
long.
Oh, it was long. It was long. Went to the one where they brought
You must have been under the influence.
they brought Tupac back to life, the hologram.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was cool.
That was a big
Seen a
deal.
bunch of.
No, they've done a great job.
It's-
I mean, the
it's-
lineups have been amazing. Hey, this is a side quiz. What was your first concert you went to?
Beach Boys.
Huh.
In San Diego after a Padres Mets game.
So it was at the stadium.
It was at the Jack Murphy Stadium. Yeah.
That kind of counts. But you went to the game and then saw a concert there.
Beach
Oh,
Boys.
right, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just waited
that's
9
good.
innings of crappy Mets baseball and Padres
get
to get to the Beach Boys.
All right.
So yeah, you can say I went to a game or went to a concert.
You did both. Anyways,
It's true.
So,
Got to meet Ron Darling there, by the way.
for those of you that don't know, used to be an Angel.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
All right.
He was on the Mets.
So, my first concert, thanks for asking.
Oh yeah, what's yours?
Not going to tell you now.
Let me guess.
No.
Woodstock.
Jimi
90
Hendrix.
99. Woodstock.
REO Speedwagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Actually, my brother took me my birthday. And, anyways, it was a long time ago.
Oh,
All right.
That's a paid for podcast right there.
Yeah. All right. So, we were going to hit now.
So we're done with the
So
desert. Let's come back to Murrieta Valley Unified.
That's interesting.
Well, that's a very interesting story. Tell us.
Well, I shot you the email, so I didn't read it. You were supposed to read it.
Oh,
So the pastor, what's the name? Tim Thompson?
something like that.
Yeah. So, well, I guess I'll try and make it up since
I don't have the article in front of me, but
Murrieta Unified School District, right?
Yep.
So they were going to protest Murrieta Unified. I thought and they had sanctuary cities. That's what caught my eye. Like, sanctuary city, and they're not a city; they're a school district.
Yep.
So, and a preacher. So I thought it was something COVID, but it was actually what?
Well, part of it was to get the kids back into school. They were going to declare themselves a sanctuary school district.
Okay, so it wasn't. But you said something else. But it was, dude, sex education. I thought
So
that was-
that's how it started with
Yeah.
sex education. They didn't want their kids being taught the California new standards of sex education, which include gay and lesbian, education as part of it. So the school district saying, no, we're going to consider ourselves a sanctuary school district, like a sanctuary city. So, nuts to your rules or laws. We're going to do our own thing. But then that led into COVID and getting kids back to school.
So that'll, I think, be a continuous issue for a while because I don't think schools are going to open this year. And I think parents are going to get more and more pissed off. It's getting to the point of absurdity. I mean, think about, well, what do I mean think about? You got little kids.
Yep.
It's going to take a toll. We may not see all the ramifications right now. It may be another year or two. It may come out in different areas of their lives, but it's taking a toll, and it's getting to the point of this is ridiculous.
I think the two worst things for me, at least, it's obviously being in persons. You can't beat that. But the relationships with the other kids is missing. Also, just the physical activity. Now, I mean, I make my kids work and mow the lawn and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm sure you do.
No, but just they recess.
But the discipline to have a third grader to sit
And
at a computer,
it's
you're asking
tough.
for the impossible. And how the hell do they teach them to read? By the way,
they have lessons and they have lesson books. It's not.
that's ridiculous to think you're going to teach kids to read over Zoom.
Yeah.
It's really bad. All right, I don't want to go off on too big of a tangent, but not happy. I don't know about Tim Thompson if he's going to get anything done, but we'll follow that story. So, Corona,
Oof.
not good,
Oof.
as
Yeah.
we say. So, as baseball fans,
Yeah.
we're not happy to see this.
No. This is sad. This is a minor league baseball player prospect for the Tampa Bay Rays.
He signed like $1 million
Yeah.
signing bonus, or
Well, we know one thing: he can hit. Ooh, too soon.
so.
He. I didn't see what.
So he was a
It set him off.
troubled young man.
Yeah.
That was a star at Corona High. Got drafted, they say, by Tampa Bay Rays, or probably called Devil Rays back then, or who knows. So, but he had psychological problems. He had, and unfortunately, those diseases creep into young men in their early 20s, or late teens, early 20s, and it did to him, schizophrenia and whatever else it might be. He just was spiraling down,
Yeah.
and his family they couldn't handle him. He was just threatening them constantly. So he arrived at their home, and Dad was there. His uncle killed them both. And then it said an electrician who was installing an alarm system got killed, and he was there to install the alarm system because his parents wanted to keep him out because he was just, like I say, spiraling down. And anyways,
With a
in
baseball
prison for
bat.
life.
Killed him with a
Killed
baseball
him with
bat.
a baseball bat. So he is in prison for life, and it's just it's just a really obviously sad story. But these
Brandon Martin.
Brandon Martin, but
There he
these diseases, these mental health diseases, are
Yeah.
unbelievable. Because what do you do when they won't take their meds because they think you're trying to poison them or whatever it might be, and their mind's just spiraling down, and it gets worse, and you don't know how violent they're going to be. And if it's your son, you're like, okay, I can control him. I need to help him. I got to do something. And then to actually get to the point where you can't have your son coming over to your house because you're afraid of that.
Right.
That's just probably close to the worst nightmare as a parent you can get.
Here's the only part I don't get. He knew he did something wrong because he led police on a chase like the next day. So there needs to be a lot more studies on.
Oh, you're saying he was cognizant of breaking the law?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the issue. Yes, obviously, because they can function. It's just they're hearing things in their head at the same time, right? Like, that's the devil. That's the devil. We got to kill him. Got to kill him. Or you're trying to hide things from me, because they're hearing voices in their head sometimes, and it's just it's sad, and it's one of those of all the medical advancements we're making in cancer, there's making a lot of advancements in cancer now.
And no,
But these mental health diseases, we're still struggling to figure out what to do.
he had no prior convictions, and he was picked 38th overall. I mean,
That's pretty good. That's high up.
That's like second round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right.
Sad.
So let's talk about truck traffic. My favorite subject.
Yep.
Driving to 10, driving to 60, even to 91. It's a disaster out here. I mean, I literally think almost every day I'm out there, there's more trucks on the road. They're getting to outnumber cars. As you're driving, there's getting to be more trucks than cars on the road, and it's not good for the area. So Upland said we're going to put a moratorium on development for distribution centers because our area in Inland Empire, Riverside, San Bernardino County have a lot of logistics centers for all the major companies, and they're big, large warehouses. The trucks roll up, get the stuff, roll back out.
Right.
And it's just I don't enjoy it. But so Upland said we're putting a moratorium. We're going to stop this for a certain amount of time, I think 45 days, to assess can we take any more of these. And then Murrieta Valley has done the same thing. So you're starting to see this pushback now from the city saying we can't build any more of these. We literally can't take it unless you plan on doubling the size of the freeway.
Yeah.
We just can't do this anymore. So I think these are just the first two cities, and I think this is going to happen
I think you have two
across
options.
the area. Let's hear them.
And when I run for governor of this state,
Let's hear it.
one option is double deck the freeways.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
I've been doing that for years.
Everybody's saying that. It doesn't happen.
We're
Only
living
on San Francisco.
In the
Whatever
past,
bridge.
exactly. Living in the past of the 89 San Francisco earthquake, where you had the collapse of the freeway. That was 89.
What's number two?
Number two is underground, all the goods.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Instead
one.
of people, Elon Musk is
Let's
going
do that.
he's created the tube.
Hyperlink or whatever.
Yeah,
Hyper
which is
tube.
great because we own Tesla, so we get to drive
We
it
get
eventually.
free.
But why not use that for goods?
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, go from the port of Long Beach, L.A., drill that thing all the way out, just past where I live, and then have them distribute from there outside of the more or less urbanized Southern California.
Yeah.
That's the future. That's the way to go. I hope to God we do it because it's going to destroy the area. It just beats the hell out of the freeways and the congestion, and it's just makes it not a favorable place to be. Anyways, well, I like your platform for governor. Might support you. Probably won't, but
Well, if you
I like your idea.
thank you.
You're a thinker. That's good.
Thank you.
And also, tied to that story of I'm sorry, I'm reading what I said, of the moratorium on logistics center. The next day, the Press Enterprise had a study about the Inland Empire, record pace in the fourth quarter for the economy, and it's mainly fueled by the logistics industry.
That's what we are. That's what we're known for.
It's just
Orange County's
That's
got the
our future.
entertainment and beaches. LA's got LA.
we got the trucks. And
We got the
freeway.
trucks. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Hyperloop.
we
I like it.
we got to figure something out. Vote Trost. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Vote Trost. Okay, what else we
Vote
got?
Trost.
Is that it?
Well, one last story I've been wanting to share up in our mountains area. Actually, is that it?
I don't
Do
know.
we have anything else?
Tell me what you're talking about, and I'll let you know if it's up in the mountains.
Well, there was I think 2 weeks ago, we talked about how, if birds are real or not. Now, listener Warren Avery
Nick's even liking this.
sent me a picture in his backyard of what would appear to be a dead blue jay. Because we talked about why aren't birds just dropping out of the sky, right? And producer Nick said, hey, do you guys know what they're doing always? The crows, when they're sitting on the wires, the electric wires, they're recharging. So, anyways,
Doesn't everybody know that?
well, I thought
So-
they did. But there was a story up in San Bernardino mountains.
So to go off on that a little bit, there's
Okay.
actually, I guess you're saying, a so-called documentary video of why there's not a bunch of birds on the ground.
Yeah.
And people actually believe it, I guess, that, well, what do they actually believe? That Oh, they believe birds aren't real then.
Correct.
Okay.
And I told Warren Avery, who sent me the picture of the dead blue jay, which I was like, why is a blue jay in your backyard, first of all? But second of all, I said, go ahead and slice it open.
I was just going to say, do an autopsy.
And
he
goes,
found a battery inside.
And he texted me back. He goes, I don't want to get electrocuted. But there was a.
So that's part of the world gone insane. But I want to meet the person that actually believes this. Maybe I don't.
We'll pull him on. But there was a news story out of the mountains. There's an eagle camp in Big Bear because there's some bald eagles up there. And, bald eagles are kind of, are they endangered?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope he didn't shoot it.
Good news. Jackie, the female bald eagle nesting in Big Bear, laid her first egg of the 2021 season.
Wow.
And then update 15 minutes later.
Another one?
Nope. Unfortunately, crows ate the eggs this afternoon.
Oh, my God. Those
See?
bastards.
Just points to my bird conspiracy. They didn't want to know. They didn't want it.
Oh.
The Clintons.
Isn't that a shame?
Yeah, trained the crows.
Isn't that a shame?
Anyways.
Hey, parrots.
What about them?
Dude, think about that. That's the smartest animal. Has to be. 'Cause
Really?
no other animal comes close to any type of language.
A gorilla like this
Except
sign
maybe
language.
what whales do a little bit, and
Crow? Nick says crows are
no, dude.
Scientifically, they're
Have you ever heard of a parrot? They actually can mimic what you say.
no, but like they.
I mean, clearly,
Intelligence that they don't have.
so you,
dude. But how? Okay, but to be able to speak, that's the huge difference between us and all other animals. Chimpanzees that we evolved from, whatever. We're the only ones that can speak.
It's more like they just mimic the noise.
Yeah, no shit. That's no, but they actually think about it too, because there was this one video where there's a dog in a house and a parrot.
look at that.
The parrot figured out that if I say hello, they think someone's at the door, and the dog runs up and starts barking
Okay.
like somebody's here.
All right, guys, something's up. I just googled the most intelligent birds in the world, and macaws are on there.
That's a parrot.
Cockatoo,
That's a parrot.
ravens.
Parrot.
The next one, Amazon parrots. Like Amazon, the geographical location, or Amazon the
Amazon forest
company?
I'd say Amazon forest.
I'm thinking Amazon company. Maybe those are the drones. We're gonna have parrots deliver our Amazon parrots will be delivering the packages.
Now you're slipping.
Oh, let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed our time together.
Quick baseball, just update.
Oh,
There still may not be a season.
no shit.
Well, there's Major League has asked the Players Union to they want to push back the start of the season into late April. I think they want to do spring training late March and then late April.
That's not bad.
And they've asked to have, instead of 162 games, 154 games.
Okay.
And the Players Union is saying no.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
154 versus 162?
You're talking about 8 games.
That's a week. Well,
Yeah.
10 days.
Yeah.
Why don't they just extend the year?
Same pay and everything. It's just like, hey, we just want to reduce it
Oh,
by.
that's insane.
Anyways.
Well, it does mess up records, though. You got to admit, because, right? So you didn't play, but people get injured.
There's
too.
been
That
strikes,
messes it up.
but there's been strike shortened years.
One strike year, right?
No, there's been a couple, I think. 94 was like the last
Yeah, that's
big
the
one.
one, yeah.
But it extended
know
into the
anymore.
95 season, too.
Yeah, anyways, that didn't seem like they were that far off, though. 8 games. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Can't squeeze those in somewhere?
Well, my point is, like, NBA's figured it out. NFL has gone unscathed.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball.
And by the springtime, I think COVID's going to be in a rearview mirror at that point.
I'm going to quote you on that.
Please do. Dude, so I read that the normal cases, like whatever it is, people that got tested, you multiply by 3 or 4 the amount of people that actually had it, because a lot of people were asymptomatic, a lot of people got sick, didn't get tested, and so on and so forth. So if we have 25 million people now that have had it, you're up to maybe 100 million people that have had it. You're close. You get 50 million vaccinated. You're herding immunity. So we're not that far away. So springtime, we're going to be fine.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Stagecoach and Coachella Fest.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get out.
Later.